and good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to The Done Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what you can expect in your career in the year of 2020. And just remember, these are general readings, so maybe not everything that I say per pile is going to completely apply to your life. So in that case, just take what resonates and leave the rest. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages for you in both piles or 3 piles or all 4 piles. Whatever it is that calls to you, just know there's a reason that it's calling to you to pick more than one. Or if it's just one that's calling out to you, perfect. If you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you maybe close your eyes, try to center your energy, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, and really try to focus on piles number 1, 2, 3, or 4. So when you've selected your pile or piles, go ahead and check the timestamps in the description box or the pinned comment below to go to your reading, and I will see you over there. Alright, group number 1, let's figure out what you can expect in your career in the year of 2020. And if for some weird reason you're watching this way after the fact, just know that you landed on this video because there is a message here for you, and feel free to watch it because it will still apply to you. There's some really cool stuff going on here, and okay, so let's just go ahead and start at the top and work our way down because I have a lot to say about this, and I do apologize if these pick-a-cards have been getting a little long-winded, but I don't know, there's just been so many messages that I feel need to come out for different people that are watching each group, and I just don't want to miss anything and try to keep it too brief by cutting things. So you're gonna get what you get, and if you want to fast forward or just not watch them at all, I totally understand, and I will try to attempt to make these shorter in the future, so I really do apologize for my long-windedness. So without making this any longer, let's jump into this. So the first thing, I know I said I was starting here, but the first thing that is really standing out to me is the career change card and the support card. It's like they are grounding this whole deal for you. So if you've been thinking about a career change, whether you want to completely change career tracks, a totally different thing, or just, work somewhere else that does a similar thing, or open your own business, whatever it is that's on your heart this year, I really think you need to follow it, because you guys, I feel like, have been with this ask for what you want card, you guys have been allowing other people to kind of nudge you in the direction maybe they want rather than the direction you want. Maybe you're sticking at a job because you feel bad, you don't want to leave your employer hanging, or you really like your coworkers, but you just feel like maybe this job is stifling you in some way. There's some element, however this resonates for you, that is kind of having you do what maybe others want and not so much following your own heart and doing what you want. But this is going to be the year that you're going to change that, and it's going to be such a beautiful change. It's like you're going to come into your own and finally go after the life you want. And for a lot of you, that is going to be where your career is concerned. I feel like this is going to be a really big year for your career. Even if you're someone who's currently unemployed, this is going to be the year you really figure some stuff out for yourself. And I just saw someone who's in college right now that keeps waffling back and forth. Should I do this? Should I do this? And you're really confused as to where to go in what direction you want to go when you graduate. And you're almost like, I just kind of want to stay in school because then I don't have to make a choice. Well, to me, your choice is going to become very clear this year. You're going to clean that mirror or that window, and the fog is going to lift, and you're going to know what way to go. So whether you're in school or not, that applies to this group completely. If you've been really unclear where you want to go in your career, this is going to be the year that path is illuminated, and you're going to have this fire and passion and excitement for where your future is headed. And then here we have the Mother card, and the light attributes of this card are nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. The shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And for some reason, I feel like you're not the one smothering or abandoning anything or instilling guilt because you're becoming independent. I feel like you may deal with this with people in your life. For you finally going after what you want, you may have people in your life, whether it is your actual mother or a close female. I'm feeling very female energy, and not just because it says mother, but I'm feeling that feminine energy coming into this. But it's almost like this person in your life wants you to stay where you are or somewhere similar so they don't feel inadequate. And don't dull your sparkle for anybody. Just make sure this year especially you're following your heart and you're doing what you want. And then here we have the 13 card, effort. And effort is something you're really going to have to be putting in this year. But to me, for you guys, it's not going to feel like you're just putting in all this work and all this work. You're going to be excited to put effort towards your career. You're going to be fueled and passionate about what you're doing, especially those of you who are making a complete shift. And I do see like someone starting their own business and moving and doing all these really big changes that are really exciting, but at the same time stressful. But that effort is going to be put in, and it's not going to feel, like I kept saying, it's not going to feel like work. It's just going to feel like you are pouring your love and heart and passion into something that is going to pay off and manifest great rewards in your future. And that being said, we have the Malachite card, which is all about prosperity. So there is a positive shift in your flow of divine support. And again, with support, you're going to be supported both on this physical plane and by your spirit guides, angels, the universe, however you want to look at that. You are going to have so much support, whether you can see this support as a physical person in your life, or like I was saying, just a spirit guide, or you just feel like the universe is really lining things up for your success. But a lot of that does go back to your efforts. So it's like if you put in that effort, it's letting the universe, your spirit guides, all these energies that can make things happen for you. It's like your effort is letting them know you're serious, and that's when they're going to start, putting the right people in your path, the right instances where maybe you're looking at a flyer on a bulletin board when you're out in public somewhere and you see this perfect job opportunity, and whereas maybe before you just grab your coffee and walk right past this bulletin board, but just for some reason today you glanced at it and there's this job. Something like that. It's like the path is unfolding in front of you every minute and every decision you make, but it's going to be really beautiful where these great things are going to be put in your path as long as you're putting in that effort and willing to put in the work. And then here we have share your gifts, and to me this really goes well with this making a difference card. By sharing your gifts, by asking for what you want and living the life that makes you feel your best, that is sharing your gifts with other people. Whether you're physically giving other people things you've made or money or your time, just you living your light is literally going to be changing other people's lives, and you will be making a difference in the world. I mean, it kind of goes back to that old example of you can be somebody who is telling people how to live their lives and what to do, and some may listen to you and some may not. But if you are a living example of the message that you are seeking to put out there, you're a living example of success and abundance and just beautiful things, that is much more inspirational to someone than any words you can tell them. Live your light by being the example, and that is going to inspire other people, and that is a big way you can make a difference. But for others of you, you may be changing careers where you're making a bigger difference and impact on animals, people, children, the environment, what have you. You're going to be following your heart to be making changes in the world through stuff that makes you feel like you are at your most alive. And by sharing this part of yourself that maybe you've kept hidden or just haven't allowed to fully shine its brightest, this year you're going to allow yourself to really feel that passion and be alive, and that's really going to inspire other people. And then with this name your higher self card, this is telling me basically that you guys are really going to be having that ego step aside, and your higher self is going to be playing more in the driver's seat role. And it's funny too, because you have 62 and 35, and both of those add up to an 8. And 8s are all about action. So this, again, goes back to that effort. You're really putting action. Things are forwardly moving and the momentum is gaining, and you're really, if you put in that effort and you are open to possibilities, you guys can go really far in your careers this year. Whether you're staying in that same career and working your way up, or you're starting your own business, or completely switching career choices or career paths, you guys have the support and the love. And I do feel, going back to this one about how I was talking mostly about the shadow attributes, I do feel like one or two of you are going to have, your mother is just going to be so excited for you, and she's going to be a huge cheerleader for you. But yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys. Again, don't want to make these too long, but figured I would let you know everything I was seeing. But as always, you guys, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And you'll have to let me know below what you thought about this. And as always, you guys, thanks again, and I hope you come back to the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's figure out what you can expect for your career in the year of 2020. And I do apologize if these pick-a-cards have been getting a little long-winded, but I don't know, there's just been so many messages that I feel need to come out for different people that are watching each group, and I just don't want to miss anything and try to keep it too brief by cutting things. So you're gonna get what you get, and if you want to fast forward or just not watch them at all, I totally understand. And I will try to attempt to make these shorter in the future, so I really do apologize for my long-windedness. So without making this any longer, let's jump into this. All right, group number 2, let's figure out what you can expect in your career, and we will start up here and work our way down. And the first thing that's really standing out to me, there is a lot of green, yellow, and orange. And those are kind of those middle chakras, those ones that are your heart chakra, solar plexus, and down to your sacral chakra. So you guys are really going to be creating out of love and courage and this sense of feeling like you are owning who you are and what you're here to do. And that is such a beautiful thing, because I think, much like group number 1, maybe in the past and even now, if this resonates for you now, just know it may be changing for you, but I feel like you guys have been afraid to fully shine your light in this world, whether that's on a conscious level or a subconscious level. You guys have such beauty and such creativity within you, and I feel like a lot of times you're afraid of being judged for your outlook or your expression in life. And this is actually going to be the year that you're kind of like, you know what, I'm done with playing small. I'm done with that old narrative. I am ready to put myself out there, and so be it what anyone else thinks. I mean, this is great, you guys. This is just something else. So the funny thing is too, 2 different decks. You got the writers group and you got author, and then of course with the creativity cards. So I feel like if you are someone who if you're not currently writing a book or working on a blog or something where you're publishing something, have you thought about it? Because this is really supportive energy to get a message out there to other people. And I think for most of you, but not all of you, that centers around writing. But for others of you, that could be painting or graphic design, web design, interior design, just anything real creative or artistic is totally your jam and going to be right up your alley for your career this year. And I do see some of you opening like a small, like an Etsy shop or like a handmade business where you're creating things with your hands and you're selling them like at farmers markets or craft shows, or like I said, on Etsy, something like that, where you're just really putting your heart into what it is that you're creating this year. It's really fun. I feel like you guys have like so many hats you want to wear and so many things you want to do that it's sometimes hard for you guys to narrow down your focus on what should I be focused on, because I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this other thing, and sometimes they may support each other, but other times they may kind of clash. Like, I want to write a book, but I want to work with doing this other thing that's going to take your whole day and all your time, and you're just not going to have enough time for both. So this is kind of gonna have to be the year that you start to sort of narrow your focus. And I'm not saying narrow it down to just one thing, because I don't feel you guys could do that even if you tried. You guys have your hands in lots of different cookie jars, and you want to wear a lot of hats. And for some of you, that may be literal, like you love to wear hats, or maybe you make hats, I don't know, but I'm just seeing someone trying on all these hats and like looking in the mirror and smiling. And I feel such a fun and youthful and creative spirit from you guys. And this is going to be the year that you really step into that leadership role, like I was talking about earlier. You're wanting to just take charge of your life, and I feel like a lot of you guys do want to work independently. You guys are fun and vivacious people, but I feel like you guys really fuel and recharge your batteries when you are alone and can work by yourselves without people bothering you and interrupting what you're doing and interrupting that flow state, because it's like you guys can channel beautiful works of art and information from the other side without even knowing that. So if you didn't know that that was one of your spiritual gifts, now you know. You guys are very good at channeling information from the other side to create beautiful things for this world. And I read a quote the other day that really stuck with me, and I think it totally applies to you guys. And I almost wonder if I didn't read that quote just so I could tell you guys this, but they say the opposite of war is not peace. The opposite of war is art. Maybe you guys, with this volatile world that we live in, are going to be channeling all that inner peace and way forward in life through your creative endeavors. And I feel for a lot of you guys, it's going to pay off, because, that whole starving artist concept, that's kind of becoming a thing of the past. There are so many people out there living a creative life, living that entrepreneurial life, where they don't have to work a 9 to 5, they're setting their own hours, they're being their own boss, and they're still making more money than they would following someone else's rules, making some other person lots of money. So this could be the year, if you guys have struggled in the past getting little businesses off the ground, or going back to that author and writers group, writing books, and maybe you've tried to query a book before and it just didn't work out. But I feel like this year you're gonna have an idea for a book that is so needed in this world, in this climate, in this energy right now, and you're gonna start writing. And here she does have this angel kind of over her shoulder while she's writing. This angel's got a hand on her shoulder, looking over, almost just helping her and dictating to her what to write. And that really goes back to what I said about you guys channeling information from the other side that is very needed in this world right now. But I'm kind of all over the place. Like, I haven't even really gotten through this yet, but I have so much to say for you guys. It's insane. But back to this writers group card. It says create or join a writers group to gain inspiration, friendship, and support. And if you're not someone who is a writer, you can take this any which way. So if you're someone who's a painter, you can find like-minded people in your community where you guys can get together and talk about your works of art and your process, and maybe even meet together. I'm seeing like in the springtime, like somewhere in a park where you guys can all get together and paint together, or see people like refinishing furniture or crafting together. I mean, you can take this and put it into any kind of circumstance that you are in. Just go around looking for people who are of like mind and start a group. And that goes well because you do have the leadership and the mentor card. So you are acting as that leader, as that mentor this year to other people. But the light attribute of this mentor card says passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. So maybe you are teaching other people your process with something, and that is helping other people start something for themselves. But then here with the shadow attribute, you have inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. And much like the mother card in group number 1, I almost feel like you might have an elder in your life, someone who's older than you, whether it's a male or a female. Doesn't matter. Could be a parent, could be a teacher, could be a friend, could be a family member, whatever. But they may be trying to show you their way to do things, and it may not necessarily be the way you want to move forward, and you're gonna have to really listen to your heart and intuition and not be led down a path that's not for you. And then here we have the 3, which is all about creativity, and it is the creativity card. So you guys are really going to be pouring your hearts and souls into what it is that you're doing in your careers this year. And even if you don't work a physical beautiful, creative job that you've always dreamed of working. Even if you're working some 9 to 5 somewhere, you're finding ways to put creativity into the work you're doing. So whether you're an accountant or a lawyer or someone who works fast food at McDonald's or something, it doesn't really matter what your job is. You're finding creative ways to do that job or ways to insert that creativity into the job. And that's going to make your life more fun, because no one likes to work a dull, boring job, no matter what. And there are no jobs that are superior to others. As long as you're there, you're serving other people in some way, whether you're offering them a service or you're literally serving them food, it doesn't matter, because you're still putting your energy out into the world and you're getting energy back from other people. So there is still an exchange of energy. Whether you're some hoity-toity rich lawyer or a doctor who's making a whole lot of money, or someone who works part-time at, like I was saying earlier, like McDonald's or retail, that lawyer is no better than the person working retail. It's just, there's different ways of expressing yourself into the world, and you guys are going to be infusing your creativity into anything it is that you're doing this year. But then we have the topaz, and it says forgiveness heals. Time to release repressed anger as it is blocking your health and happiness. And I feel like this forgiveness card is more for you guys than anyone else. Like, you're forgiving yourself for your past whatever. Whether that's, playing small in the world and you've maybe started to beat yourself up because you've realized, I could be so much farther than I am right now. If only I'd buckled down when I was 20, if you're someone who's older than that. Or you're just beating yourself up because you made a wrong mistake or a wrong choice in career paths or something like that. But whatever the case is for you, you're going to be healing something through the act of forgiveness, whether that's forgiving other people for misdeeds you've seen that they've done to you, or you're forgiving yourself for things you feel like you have done or have not done in this life. And that pairs really well with the Rhodochrosite card here. It says, be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. So there is some healing that needs to go on where I almost feel like it's belief systems or past, something about the past you need to heal in order to move forward in your career and feel like that complete success that you've always wanted to feel like. And I feel like this year you may not be fully on your way to the most beautiful grand life you've ever dreamed of, but this year will be like a starting point that you can point back to years from now and be like, I remember in 2020 when I finally decided to, leave that toxic work environment, or I decided to go back to school, or I decided to X, Y, or Z, whatever the case is for you. This will be a year you can point back to and be like, that's where things really started happening for me. And then here you have the Speak with Love card. So I feel like anything it is that you're doing in any kind of work, you're going to be doing it from your heart. And that pairs well with this Follow Your Bliss card. You're done doing things just to do them, just to make your dollar, just so you can pay your bills, just so you can eat, just so you can live, just so you can all of the above. You've had enough of getting by just to, working just to get by. You want to work a job that makes you feel like you are alive and doing what you came here to do. You're going to start learning this year what that is for you if you haven't already. And you're going to start following that bliss, and it's going to take you somewhere you've just never dreamed of. But again, I feel like this is the year it's going to start. Maybe not the year it's all going to come to fruition, but as long as you follow your heart, it will not lead you astray. And then here we have Claim Your Boundaries. So I think this goes two ways. Like I said, you guys kind of need to rein in how many hats you're wearing or how many different career types of things you want to do and businesses you want to start. You're going to have to narrow your focus down a little bit so that you can, give 50% of your career energy to one thing and then the other 50% to another, rather than 10 different options where you're only giving 10% of energy to each thing. You want to narrow that focus down so that you can actually put good effort towards each thing that you're doing. And then another way this goes is just about claiming your boundaries, like going back to the shadow attributes of this mentor card, not allowing other people to tell you what's best for you and what you should do in life, And to me, this also goes with like people that you're working with. There may have been some toxic coworkers like currently or even in the past, and you just know maybe this type of work isn't for me anymore, and you're gonna claim your boundaries and put up boundaries where people will learn to respect what you want and what you expect in a job. Yeah, you guys, I think that's all I'm seeing for you. You'll have to let me know below what you thought about this and what you have planned for your career in 2020. And as always, you guys, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's see what you can expect for your career in the year of 2020. And I do apologize if these pick-a-cards have been getting a little long-winded, but I don't know, there's just been so many messages that I feel need to come out for different people that are watching each group, and I just don't want to miss anything and try to keep it too brief by cutting things. So you're gonna get what you get, and if you want to fast forward or just not watch them at all, I totally understand. And I will try to attempt to make these shorter in the future, so I really do apologize for my long-windedness. So, without making this any longer, let's jump into this. Alright, you guys, so we're just going to go ahead and start up here and work our way down. With the first card here, we have creative expression. So it says God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. So whether you work a really creative job or not, no matter what, you are putting your unique stamp on things. You put love into everything you do, and it's just a really beautiful energy I'm picking up from you guys. You guys are really wanting to make this world a better place. You don't all the time know how to do that, but I feel like this year you're going to start leading with love. And you know, with that love card right under here, it's just really like screaming out to me, love, love, love. But one thing that's really catching my eye for this is there is a lot of blue, a lot of yellow, and a lot of green going on in all of these cards. And those are those throat chakra and even up into that third eye is kind of that blue representation. And then your green is your heart chakra, and then this yellow is your solar plexus and that courage and that confidence. And I feel like you guys are finally allowing yourself, much like group number 1 and 2, to shine more of your light in your career. So maybe you just went to work and you just showed up because it was a job and that's what you do, but you were just really not in it. Your heart wasn't in it. Well, this is going to be a year that changes. So whether you guys do make a career change or you just kind of change your attitude as far as your job goes, or maybe some of you are going to be moving up in the job that you're already in, but you're going to be getting like some sort of promotion. It's coming from your heart. It's like you guys are putting your heart into it more, whereas before maybe you were just kind of going through the motions, but now you are deciding to put more of yourself in it. And that goes back with that creative expression. But I feel like some of you are starting your own business or something with creative expression, but you do have the flowers card and the oracle cards card. But it says here, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So you may be physically working in a flower shop or working in a garden or something like that, where you are out in nature working even. And then with the oracle cards here, it says you are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. So you may be doing this, what I'm doing right now on YouTube, or doing personal readings for people, because I feel like you guys are very intuitive, especially with all this blue, with that communication and that third eye. You guys have that connection to the other side, and you can give other people messages that they need to hear by either using tarot cards or oracle cards or just channeling information for other people. And I just saw someone like having a dream about someone that they know, one of the person that they know's like crossed over loved ones, and you tell this person about it and they're just blown away by what the message is. Like, you guys may be communicating or like a medium, but especially through your dreams. So whether these are your loved ones or other people's loved ones that are crossed over, they're coming to you to give messages to their friends or family. That's a really cool thing to be able to do. But Some of you may even be putting that into a business that you're creating for yourself, where you're offering your channeling or your mediumship skills or your tarot oracle card by doing readings for people. And then here we have the companion card. So light attributes are loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. And the shadow attributes are betrayal by misusing confidences and loss of personal identity. So I feel like, okay, so this goes two ways for me too. Somebody is letting go of a friendship because they just have decided, yeah, this is toxic. And it actually may be, because this is a career reading, it may be someone that you work with that's a good friend of yours. And maybe not so much a good friend anymore because you're cutting them out of your life. But then on the other side of the coin, you have this companion that you can talk to. And maybe this is someone you already know, or someone you're going to be meeting this year that you can really pour your heart out to and let them know, you know, this is what I want to do in the world. And these are my dreams and my hopes and my wishes. And this person's going to be kind of an inspiration to you, and you will be an inspiration to them. But it's just someone you can talk to about what you plan to do in the world. And then again with this love card, you guys are following your heart and you're putting love into everything you do. Even if you're working retail, if you're some hotshot lawyer or whatever, you are putting love into the services you're providing for other people. And it's actually really going to affect the people, like especially like if you work retail or somewhere where there's a lot of people in and out, in and out, in and out. They're really going to benefit from your energy. And maybe they're just there to buy a t-shirt, but you're there, and whether they know it's from you or not, they're just going to feel this little bit of pick-me-up just by going to the place that you are working. And then here we have the Smoky Quartz, and this is a card all about clearing negativity and release negativity from within or around you. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about this love card. Even if you work somewhere that's maybe a little bit stressful, you being there is clearing out the negativity, and you make other people feel so much happier just by you being around. Your presence is like them walking through a beautiful garden and smelling the fresh rain and the beautiful flowers. Like, that's your energy for the people around you. They just love it. They love you and they feel so good when you're around. But I feel like a lot of you guys are depressed or really sad about things a lot. And a lot of times I feel like you guys aren't even aware of why you're sad. You just kind of have this general kind of melancholy or gloomy feeling about the way the world is and stuff like that. But I think it's because you guys are empaths and you do pick up on other people's energy. And a lot of times you will misread that energy as your own feelings, your own thoughts, your own whatever. And it's not always your energy that's making you sad or depressed. So just make sure you're clearing. Do like a clearing meditation, or sage yourself, or use crystals. Wear crystals with you. You can take black tourmaline with you. Malachite is also a really good one to just keep in your pocket to clear out negative energy and to keep negative people away from you. It's like they can subconsciously sense you have malachite, so they just steer clear of you. But that being said, malachite isn't an easy stone for a lot of people to carry. You may get really tired or overwhelmed if you're carrying it, if you're not completely attuned to it. So it may be something you want to test out just to see how it makes you feel. But for me, it was funny because I actually did some energy healing work with somebody and was telling her, she was an acupuncturist and learned all about crystals and stuff, and she was telling me, because I was telling her how I have this big chunk of malachite that I keep in my pocket as I leave the house, and she's like, she was the one that clued me in. She's like, oh wow, and it doesn't like affect you in any way? And I was like, oh no, I feel great. And she was the one that told me about how it's a pretty overpowering energy, and it's not for everybody, but it's definitely for me. I love my malachite. But again, I think if you guys are drawn to this group, maybe malachite is for you. And then again, Smoky Quartz, that's the name of this card. So Smoky Quartz, black tourmaline, malachite, those are like the three main ones I'm getting for you guys that would be good to help get the negativity away from you. But then we have the Dare to Be Happy card. And again, going back to what I was saying, just about feeling that kind of gloominess, just dare yourself, let's be happy today. Let's point out the great things in our lives. Let's count our blessings and have that gratitude, because that's going to skyrocket you in terms of where you are in your career. And it may not be like it's bringing you more money or whatever, but it's going to bring you a lot more happiness when you're at work. And even if you're someone who's unemployed, to me this feels like kind of the sky's the limit. Like, you can set what you want to do this year, and I want to say for you guys, don't set your sights low, set your sights high. Even if you have to work your way up to something, make sure you have a game plan or at least a general idea of what direction you want to go. And then here with the Exercise Your Vibes card, this is a really beautiful one, you know, going back to how you affect other people and you absorb other people's negative energy. If you're the one putting out, like I was saying back over here, about putting your beautiful energy out into the world, you're gonna be showing other people how to do the same thing, and it's gonna be really great for you and other people. And then for some of you, it's, you know, this person here has an actual jumping rope, so they're getting active. So maybe you're looking into getting a job where you are more active. Maybe you're a personal trainer or some sort of health coach, or you're working at a gym. I don't know, but someone specifically has this message where you're going to be going more towards physical activity and exercise for your job. And then we have the Accepting What Is card. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. And a lot of times it's hard to accept what is because we always want to be somewhere that we're not. So we're either ruminating about the past or thinking about the future, and we're not really in the present moment. So the best way for you to accept everything that's going on in your life is to be present in the life you're living. Be in the now moment. And when you can accept what is, that's when you can change it. If you're just always projecting your energy out to something different without accepting where you're at and what is the current situation, you're always going to be chasing that future goal, because it's like anything you're chasing is running away from you. If you're going toward your goal, it's not moving away from you. But if you're chasing it, it's like it's always going to be, 10 steps ahead. So don't chase anything. Accept what is, and then start making a plan and steps to get where you want to be. So yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys, and I hope this resonated. You'll have to let me know below what your plans are for 2020 and any ideas you have for your career. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, you guys, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 4, let's figure out what you can expect in your career in the year of 2020. Say the thing about whenever you're watching this is the perfect time. And I do apologize if these pick-a-cards have been getting a little long-winded, but I don't know, there's just been so many messages that I feel need to come out for different people that are watching each group, and I just don't want to miss anything and try to keep it too brief by cutting things. So you're gonna get what you get, and if you want to fast forward or just not watch them at all, I totally understand. And I will try to attempt to make these shorter in the future, so I really do apologize for my long-windedness. So, without making this any longer, let's jump into this. So this here says classes. Learning and teaching are a part of your higher calling. So some of you this year may be going back to school or trying to get some sort of certification or just training or something like that, where you're really leveling up in your skills where your job is concerned, whether you're staying at the same job, trying to find a new job, or a job if you're unemployed, or if you're graduating high school and figuring out what you want to do for your future. This all applies. Just take what part of it resonates and leave the rest. It looks like whatever the case may be for you, there's a decision that needs to be made this year about your career. And it says, make a decision based on your heart's true desires. Some of you may be in a job where you feel just like it's not serving you, or it's very mundane and boring, and it's just not really fulfilling you more on a soul level or a heart level. In this group, I'm really picking up a lot of purples, blues, and greens, and those are those upper chakras. If you start at your heart chakra, the green, work your way up into the throat and third eye, which are more blue chakra colors, and then up into the purple is that crown. So to me, especially with this card here, Coming into Power and Liberator, you guys are really going to be connecting to your higher selves and that other realm, so beyond the veil or to a higher consciousness. It's like you guys are tapping into something that is just not of this 3D plane, which is excellent to be able to bring that kind of energy into what it is you do as a career. And for a lot of you, that will include creative expression in some way. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. Whether you're leaving that boring job that just does not fulfill you in that creative way, or you're looking for ways to bring more creativity into your job, either way, you're going to be expressing yourself more creatively this year. Even if for some of you that looks like making some sort of side business or even just a hobby where you're not maybe making money at it this year, but you're just starting out or revisiting something you used to do, and it's more just for you this year than to try to sell it or make it any sort of business. But again, it's time to decide something. So maybe you want to let more creativity into your life. Maybe you've been really busy just trying to put your nose to the grindstone and get your work done, and you're realizing maybe that's not fulfilling you. So it's time to really allow yourself to figure out what it is that makes your heart sing this year. And then with the Liberator card, it says here the light attributes of this card are freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns, and then the shadow attributes are imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. But for me, this is more light attribute for you guys. You're finally freeing yourself from your old belief systems about what does a career look like. Maybe you grew up in a family where career looks like putting in hard, long hours and just working hard at the same job for 40 years before retiring. But for you guys, I can definitely tell that would just drain your life force. You guys are not your 9-to-5 people. You guys need that time, especially to separate yourselves from other people, to really refill that creative well. And while you're doing these creative endeavors, you don't want to be constantly bothered by other people. Even if you are working and do love a job where you're working with other people, or I see like a nurse, if you're a nurse or a doctor watching this, you love to help people, but there is that time and place where you need to separate yourself from those around you and kind of refill that well in a creative way. And painting, drawing, music, writing, all of those are great ways to dance. I even see someone dancing or doing yoga. Those are all great ways to refill that well, to help you feel liberated. And then here we have the 9 card, which the number 9 is, as we all know, about completion. And it feels to me like going back to that Liberator card and freeing yourself from those outdated belief systems that just aren't serving you and releasing those negative thought patterns. To me, that's what this means mostly. But for others of you, where work is concerned, you are releasing those, belief systems like I have to work hard to be able to earn money, and you're releasing that belief system. And then others of you with this completion card are going to be completing your time at the job you're at. But I don't feel like you're being fired or anything. I feel like you are really excited because you found a new job or again, going back to classes. Some of you are going back to school. I see someone moving back in with their parents so they can go to school and save money and work like a part-time job while they go back to school and really figure out, that time to decide, figure out what it is you want. Because I think many of you, not all of you, but many of you, if you have gone to college or are working a job that you've been at, you maybe either just took it because it was what was available at the time, or you took it because you felt that's what you had to do. But again, back to time to decide. You're taking that time to figure out, is this what I really want to do as a career? And some of you are coming up with the answer, no, it's not what I want to do. I want to go back to school. I want to start my own business. I want to, move over to this other place and start working over here. And then I see someone who's like, you know what? I don't want to do any of that. I want to work as a barista and I want to work in a bookstore, so you're working kind of 2 part-time jobs. So Whatever this looks like for you, whatever it is that makes your soul sing and makes you feel the most alive and the best about yourself, that is going to be the path you're going to be taking. And then here with the Apophyllite card, we have, it says here, increased support. Your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened the doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. I feel like with you making that decision to fill in the blank, if it's going back to school, starting a business, moving, or staying where you're at, whenever you've made that decision, it's like the walls are going to come down, the doors are going to open up, and you're going to have all these opportunities come to you for your highest good, for your abundance. Your well is going to be filled. You're going to be so happy to be doing what you're doing. Even if other people might be like, oh, you do this, like it's not that impressive of a job, but it really makes you feel happy and alive. And that is all that matters. Going back to those outdated belief systems and negative thought patterns, maybe people in your family thought, oh, retail, that's so below you, you could do so much more. But maybe you think, you know what, I like working retail. Or it could be the vice versa, like, oh, retail should be good enough for you. And you're thinking, no, I deserve better than that. Whatever it is that you've always believed, it almost feels like you're going to have like a paradigm shift where you're now kind of believing something different. And then here with the Spread the Light card, wherever it is you guys decide to work, you're gonna be spreading your light and showing people who you are on a soul level. You know, we have the number 9, which of course is completion, and then we have 59. So 5 plus 9 is 14, 1 plus 4 is 5, so changes. There's going to be some changes no matter if you're staying or going back to school or starting your own business, whatever applies for you, there's going to be some pretty big changes going on in your career this year. And I do feel like they are for the better. At first, some of these changes, like I see like a restructuring of someone's company, and at first you're just like, oh my gosh, this is gonna just change everything. The dynamic that we've built here, the fun work environment's gonna change, and at first you're thinking this is just gonna be horrible. But as the year wears on, you're really gonna realize, no, this was actually for the better. I'm really enjoying my coworkers, I'm really enjoying the work I'm doing, I just love this place. But then for others of you, that's changing by stepping away from where you're at now and finding a different job and really just loving where you're at and spreading your light and getting light from other people. It's like you're just sharing light. It's gonna be really beautiful. But then here we have back to basics. And so for some of you, it's like, I know this is a career reading, but I see, you know, this water and there's a moon up here, there's someone sleeping, they're running, there's healthy fruits and vegetable kind of thing. So it's like you're trying to get yourself, your body, your vessel clean so that you can actually feel like you're able to do the work that you're doing. So maybe some of you have a pretty physical job and you just feel almost like lethargic when you go to work, or you're always tired. And this is just kind of saying you may want to get your body back, you know, go back to basics, go back to what's healthy for you, and really re-examine what you want in life, both with your body, your mind, your spirit, your work, your everything. And you're really going to be analyzing with that time to decide. You're going to be analyzing a lot of things, not just your career, but of course your career is going to be taking on many changes this year. But I feel like your personal life and your just self-care stuff is really going to be changing this year as well. And then coming back to that, coming into Power card, with this going back to basics and reanalysis of what is it I want my life to look like, I do feel like a lot of you are going to discover, like many of the other piles, it's almost like these 4 piles had that theme of it's time to stop playing small. If you consciously decide this is the job I want, others may not think it's a big job, that's not you playing small just because others may think it's small. If you feel like you are living your light, you're spreading your light, you're doing the things that bring your heart joy and give that joy to others, then you're obviously coming into your own power. You're spreading your light. That's all you have to do. You don't have to strive and accomplish and spend years and years and years honing your craft. No, it's all about your belief system. So if you feel like coming into your own power and shining more of your light looks like working at McDonald's, like I used in one of the other examples, then that is quite all right, because that is you owning who you are, where you are, what you're doing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then if you're on the other side of the coin and you're really feeling like you need to level up and step up your game to be able to spread more of your light and show more of your light to the world, then that is your heart calling you down the path to do so. So whatever path you're on, whatever dreams you have in your heart, it looks like this is the year where you're really going to be examining those dreams and deciding if they are realistic for you. And if they are, it feels like you're going to start taking steps to make those dreams your reality. So I don't feel like this is the big year where, you know, you're going to become a millionaire or anything like that, but this is going to be the year that you kind of lay that foundation of what is it I want in life? What do I want to build where my career is concerned? And you're going to start taking the steps forward to make your career something that you really enjoy and something you love. So whether that's working retail or working a 9-to-5 or a corporate job or starting your own business or working 4 or 5 part-time jobs, whatever that looks like for you, as long as it's making you feel fulfilled and accomplished, that's the right path for you. And only you and your intuition will know what that looks like for you. Yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys. And I really do hope this helped you. You'll have to let me know below what you thought and if this resonated at all. And as always, you guys, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye.